What's your favorite memory of working with Stone Cold Steve Austin?
My favorite memory of working with Steve, honestly, we didn't have a lot of like pay-per-views or really intense one-on-one angles. We did some stuff, but one of my favorite things working with Steve. Well, you definitely were going to be on top, right? You're definitely in a top spot if you're working with Steve. That was always good. Your payoffs were going to be good. Your reactions, your fan reactions are going to be amazing. I enjoyed working with Steve more in house shows than I did on TVs or pay-per-views. In the house shows back in the day, I mean, that's when you really got to go out and be creative and be spontaneous and just really, really just do the craft of professional wrestling. And it was so fun with him because his character, as intense as it was, he could be a funny son of a bitch in the ring. He just could. He would do shit like I remember out of nowhere once doing Old School to me, but with a Steve twist to it, like where I would Old School on the top rope, Steve Old Schooled on the bottom rope. Went through it, did everything exactly the same, except he just did it off of the bottom rope. And, it's just one of those things like you get caught in the middle of a match and somebody does something off the wall like that. And you're just like, dude, come on. But, that was what some of the, being in the house shows, you could do some things like that here and there. And funny enough, like it just helps you, those kind of things. It breaks a little bit of the monotony sometimes of being on the road for as long as we were back then. With Steve, those are my favorite moments. Yeah, those are my second favorite moments. Going to the mailbox and getting the check after working with Steve, that was probably my favorite moment.
The 30-year anniversary of The Rock's WWE debut is later this year. What were your first impressions of The Rock, and do you have any favorite stories from working with him?
Who? The Rock. Who's he? No. I remember the night that he came out in Madison Square Garden, but I saw him with the kind of the island gimmick on, the what were they, tassels? I don't know what were those called? I don't even know what they were called, but they looked like tassels to me. And he came out with this rah-rah, yucky, baby face kind of energy. And I was like, oh man, this guy's done for. I swear I thought like, man, I mean, you knew like he was talented. Like he was an athlete. He played football at Florida, but he came out with that yucky, baby face presentation. And I was like, oh man, this guy, he don't stand a chance. And it's one of those things, duly noted. I was wrong. He had a fair run. I guess he's okay. I definitely missed on that one. I mean, he really turned into something extremely special. I wish he'd hung around a little longer. But you got big dreams, you got to go live them. So, and then I think for favorite moment, there's one that stands out, and it's not like because we did something really great. It was. I just remember one particular night that I'm working against Rock, and I think it was a Monday Night Raw that we were in a match together, and he is absolutely just kicking the shit out of me, and he's just going off, and he's throwing punch after punch after punch after punch, and I'm selling and I'm hitting, he's hitting me, and then I look at him and I realize that he's not even looking at me. He's looking over my shoulder at the Tron. He's basically watching himself kick my ass on the Tron. So he is over here like wearing me out, but his head is looking this way. Like he was really actually enjoying watching himself kick my ass. And I had to call him out, right? Like, you know what? Hey, dude, if you're going to kick my ass, will you at least look at me while you do it? Which he laughed and we had a moment out of. But, you know, that was just one of those deals like, are you kidding me right now? Like you're not even going to look at me. You're going to watch yourself hit me with all these. It was just one of those moments that, you know, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny to me anyway. Yeah, no, that always sticks out as like one of those things. This is like, bro, like I'm over here. Like, can you just turn your head a little bit? Act like you're, yeah, okay, thanks. WrestleMania, when I came out at the end of that at 40, that was fun, man. That was a little walk down memory lane there. I tell you what, though, man, I think he got a little heavier from. Either he got heavier or I'm not quite as strong as I used to be. I don't know what that was, but no, that was a lot of fun, and you know, to be able to, you know, to get in there with one of the guys from that era and relive a little bit of that magic. That was fun. It was that was worth the run that I had to make to get to the ring on my brand new replaced knees. It all paid off because that was a really cool moment. And actually, yeah, that really gave me a lot of closure as well to my in-ring wrestling career. It was just kind of like, wow, yeah, this is fun, and this is a good way to shut it all down. So yeah, it was really cool.